It is 12:21 in the morning here. The Lakers Suns game just finished and I just want to say what a game. That was like one of the most fun games I've seen, not just because I'm seeing like LeBron getting beat and I don't like LeBron that much, Bulls fan, he's pretty much like the reason that Derrick Rose couldn't get a chip. But but that was an insane game, right? For both teams, okay? Lakers played pretty good for a little bit. So let me just break it down. I mean, insane game. This is like my only review video I'm ever gonna make. I made one for like the play-in round, but you know, that's kind of different. This is gonna be like the only review video I make, but it is originally just gonna be like me, kind of like trashing on Lakers fans and like terrible takes, and I might still do that. I got a bunch of tweets bookmarked. Just retweeted a bunch on my Twitter too. Tall Indian man, check me out. But yeah, I mean, let's just go through the game. Like right off the gate, you could see the Suns were hot, like shooting threes everywhere. It really felt like the Suns were employing the like prime like championship winning Warriors strategy. Yes, we may allow the other team to score, but we're just gonna chuck up a bunch of threes and then just outscore the Lakers down the line, right? And I really do think, like the commentator said this a bunch, the Inside the NBA gang said this too. Like I really don't think AD should have even like played in this game. And I understand that's an elimination game, right? You want to have like every single hand on deck for this game, but really, like AD was clearly uncomfortable from the beginning of the game, and then 5 minutes in, he had to like sit out because he was injured, right? You're just jeopardizing his future in the league, like his whole career. Think back to KD in the 2019 Finals, right? He clearly wasn't healthy to come back in Game 6, I think, or Game 5. I don't remember which one now, but they sent him back in, and then he just he got injured, and like not only does this hurt like his chance of playing next year. I mean, he's probably gonna play next year. Yeah, he's probably playing next year, just because like it's a groin strain, so it's not that excessive as like an Achilles tear like KD's was. But not only is it like affecting his like actual play, but it's also affecting like the Lakers game plan, right? You're gonna change up your game plan when you have Anthony Davis starting versus Marc Gasol or Andre Drummond starting, right? And sure, I mean Andre Drummond didn't really play in the whole game. I don't think I actually saw him at all. Could be wrong, but I didn't really see him that much. But like it's very, very, very possible that he played, or right? Like the game plan for the Lakers would have been much different if Anthony or Andre Drummond is getting more minutes with Anthony Davis out, right? But anyways, like Devin Booker is insane. I've been saying for like years now, like after like Booker's 70-point game, Booker in the playoffs is going to be beautiful, and we saw that today. He scored like 47 points today. He carried, for the most part, the Suns for the first 3 quarters, pretty much. I'll talk about that later. And yeah, like I said earlier, like throughout the game, the Lakers' flaw was like pretty much exploited by the Suns, which is like their horrendous 3-point shooting. Wes Matthews did start to drain some threes. LeBron drained some threes here and there. Dennis Schroder also drained some threes here and there. But really, like, the Suns just like every single person could hit threes. Jay Crowder became automatic from three. Devin Booker was automatic from three. Even Chris Paul hit a couple of threes, I think. And then at halftime, they announced that AD wasn't returning. And the weirdest thing was, Drummond was seen chucking threes. Actually, I have the tweet, so let me pull that up real quick. So this picture was taken after the Lakers announced that Anthony Davis would not be returning, right? So wouldn't you want to see Andre Drummond like doing stuff that a normal center would do, like posting up, trying to get points in the paint, maybe have someone to like do like some training against Marc Gasol, try to post up, try to be like a more aggressive center, try to be like a kind of a replacement for Anthony Davis, right? No, he's shooting threes. I mean, I guess it didn't matter because I don't think he played at all in the second half anyways, even let alone the first half. I'm not exactly sure, but like it just doesn't make sense why Drummond is shooting threes here. It's just like kind of an aside that I want to talk about, but yeah. And then yeah, let me just go back to my like amazing Microsoft Paint drawing. Yeah, I keep saying like let me go back, give me a second. It's not like I don't pause the OBS recording anyways, but whatever. It's like the thing is like, and then third quarter, like the Lakers did have like a very, very strong chance of coming back, to be honest. Like they completely took over the game, clamped up the entire Suns roster, like literally clamped them, like forced so many turnovers. everything, right? Like the Lakers looked like they were in total control. But the Lakers were also like, I don't even want to sound biased. I don't think I am sounding biased when I say this, but the Lakers were playing extremely dirty today, especially with like Markieff Morris. That flagrant that he had, that flagrant he had on Cam Johnson, like he literally just like threw Cam Johnson to the ground. And then like this is just another kind of a side kind of thing, but like Lakers fans were like booing Cam Johnson whenever he was shooting his like flagrant free throws. Like, why would you do that? I'm sure you saw the replay multiple times on the jumbotron. Like the it is so clearly a flagrant. Like it just kind of comes off as like really weird and really like untasteful when you're booing Cam Johnson for that. And but pretty much like with the Lakers playing as dirty as they did, like there were a lot of fouls committed by the Lakers. They pretty much killed their own momentum, right? Like I said, like they were starting to take over in the third quarter. Like they had a very real chance. Like if they kept that momentum, they could have probably tied the game up. Made it a much more difficult challenge for the Suns to actually win the game. But really, like going back to that Markieff Morris flagrant, that review took like what gotta think like a good like 5 minutes for them to review it, right? Like to make it, to change it from a personal foul to a flagrant foul. That absolutely killed the Lakers' momentum, right? It happened like every stoppage of every play, pretty much. You could see the Lakers were like starting to gain momentum, stop the Suns on the defensive end, and then just absolutely explode on offense. Shoot a couple threes, like I said, like Wes Matthews just started to like just had an extremely hot hand that second half. Or just like LeBron was driving as well, like driving to the hoop a bunch, right? But I mean, I don't know. Just those fouls just pretty much killed any momentum, gave the Suns more time to like plan better game plan for the new defense that the Lakers were running in the second half, right? And then you could see like end of third quarter and then rest of the fourth quarter, they just started to like, explode. And then fourth quarter, like Chris Paul just absolutely took over. Like that fourth quarter is quite literally the reason why the Suns are in the playoffs, right? Why like Chris Paul being acquired by the Suns pretty much just completely turned the Suns, franchise trajectory around. He wasn't doing much scoring. Like he started to score towards like the middle of the fourth quarter and stuff, but like he was setting up so many plays, finding Cam Johnson wide open in the corner, He pretty much just like he pretty much just ran the Suns offense in that fourth quarter. He literally just took over. Yeah. He pretty much just like completely shifted the momentum and just sealed the game for the Suns right at the end there. And then again, like with Cam Johnson, like he was a sniper. He was automatic from three today. I can guarantee, I am saying this right now, Cam Johnson is going to have a breakout year next year. Clip this, whatever. I don't know how you're going to record this, but I'm telling you right now, Cam Johnson is having a breakout year next year. Kobe White was like, there's a reason Kobe was as excited as he was when Cam Johnson got drafted. Do you remember that like, wow, that's crazy, bro clip? That is for Cam Johnson, and very indicative that like, Cam Johnson is going to be a star next year. And the difference with the Lakers with and without LeBron is crazy. LeBron like subbed himself off in like a bit halfway through the fourth quarter just to get up some rest, like kind of make one last push towards the end of the game. But when LeBron was not on the court, the Lakers looked lost. But that being said, I just like, this is pretty much what I was getting at the whole time, That's the game review. If that's all you wanted to watch, cool. I'm going to like, just rant about about LeBron versus MJ debate now. I really, really think that this game proves why LeBron is not the GOAT. Pretty much this whole season, like it's been very indicative that LeBron hasn't, okay. To be fair, he did have that ankle injury this year, right? Like after that injury, he has not looked the same whatsoever, which I admit, I do think, first of all, that ankle injury, like this is pretty much LeBron's last in quotes, like great season, I guess. Or like one where he's like, still kind of in MVP talks. I think next year he's still going to be good for sure, but not as dominant as he once was, like definitely he's going to be 37 next year, right? Which makes sense. But honestly, what I was pretty much getting at was I do not think After seeing today's game, especially, LeBron James is definitely not the GOAT, all right? First of all, yes, you can talk about his finals record. 4-6 in the finals versus 6-0 for Michael Jordan. Then a lot of things that the Lakers like to say, or LeBron fans like to say, was like, LeBron has never lost in the first round. Michael Jordan did. LeBron just lost in the first round. And this is coming off a championship season, right? Like, that's important. Not only did he lose in the first round this year, he lost in the first round off a championship season. And yes, you can argue injuries and stuff, which I'll admit, right? Like, the injuries were a big part of this. Not to detract from the Suns, but the injuries were a big part of like shifting the momentum in the Suns' favor, because the first few games, it seemed like the Lakers actually had all the momentum, even though they were the 7th seed, right? But honestly, I really don't think LeBron is the GOAT, because you can argue different eras or whatever, but think about it like this, all right? But like, if you watch The Last Dance, or, if you just like followed basketball history in the 90s, you know about the Jordan rules, right? By the bad boy Pistons. You were literally having Jordan be like literally abused every single time he played the Pistons, and he didn't go and complain to the refs at all, right? Meanwhile, we can look at the play-in game, Lakers versus Warriors, where like LeBron gets touched in the eyes or something. I don't even remember what that was, but just lying down on the ground for like 5 minutes, acting like he was blind, talking about 3 rims and stuff. Michael Jordan would never do that. Michael Jordan played a game with the flu, right? Or hungover, whatever you want to say, food poisoning. I don't know, right? Because like there are a bunch of theories going on around what it really was, but they called it the flu game, so I'm going to say he had the flu. Meanwhile, LeBron, again, like someone touched his shoulder in that like game 1 or game 2 of the Suns series, and then he literally just pretended like, his arm was ripped off or something. And yeah, I know this is like kind of me just like sounding unhinged and like, going on a crazy rant, but I mean, I'm going to be honest, like, right at the end of the game there, LeBron like did, I don't even know if it was at the end of the game, but I just noticed it at the end of the game. LeBron just wasn't even playing defense. Someone blocked him in the paint, and then the first thing he did was start walking towards the ref and complain to him, and then like with like 12 seconds left on the shot clock, you could see him just walking across the court to defense. He literally left the Lakers to play like four men on defense. LeBron is a great player, don't get me wrong, like he is a great dominant player, but he's more of a, like, he plays more for himself and for his stats and for his team, while MJ, like, actually played for his team after like, Phil Jackson came in. Originally, Michael Jordan just played for himself, but, that's what I'm saying. Like, LeBron just refuses to play defense. He'd rather complain to the ref and try to get a call instead of, like, actually playing defense, trying to make an impact that way. And then at the end, it's, like, kind of a small nitpicky thing, but, like, LeBron just kind of quit on his team. He just started like chucking random threes. Like, I know the Lakers were all but out at that point. I think there was like a minute 30 left, and the Suns were up by like 15. But still, like, wouldn't you want it? Like, this is something that has been happening all series pretty much. Like last game, he literally just walked out with like 5 minutes left or something, right? Like walked out. I mean, like walked off the court. Like he went to the locker room 5 minutes before the game ended. I don't know. I mean, I just think like this season or this series in particular really cements why Michael Jordan is the GOAT. And, you can say I'm biased because I'm a Chicago fan or whatever, but I truly do think that, LeBron is the GOAT. Yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I wanted this video to be. Like, Lakers Suns review, my only recap video, I guess. I don't know. Unless the Bulls make the playoffs next year, then I'll try to review every single game. But that's a year out. And then, just talking like why this cements like Michael Jordan as the GOAT, why this game cements Michael Jordan as the GOAT, and that's about it. I'll see ya. Hope you enjoyed. Video got pretty long, but I hope it is interesting. I'll see ya.